This is a true story about witnessing unidentified flying objects, UFOs, that happened in 1999, May 1378 in the Iranian calendar, in Shiraz, a city in Iran. Even after 25 years, I still have no explanation for what I saw, so I am simply sharing what happened before my eyes in broad daylight. I was 18 years old and in my final months of college. With less than 3 months left until the university entrance exams, some classmates and I would gather in a quiet green park to study in the afternoons. It was a little after 1 p.m., and I was getting ready to go to the park when I happened to look up at the sky from the small balcony of our house. The sky was completely clear and sunny, without a single cloud, and that is why I was sure of what I saw. Something like a large star shining in the sky, even though it was daytime. The first thing that caught my eye was that the object was stationary and motionless. We lived on the 4th floor of an old apartment building. I quickly went up to the roof and stared at the sky, but the object was no longer there. I waited for a few minutes but couldn't find it, so I went back inside, though my curiosity wouldn't let me take my eyes off the sky. I went straight to the balcony and looked up again. Strangely, the object was back in the same spot. I returned to the roof, keeping my eyes fixed on the bright object. It was so high up that I couldn't make out its shape, but one thing was clear. It was made of metal. I could tell from the way the sunlight reflected off its surface. My neck was hurting, but I couldn't stop looking, and I don't know how long I had been staring at the bright, unknown object when I noticed something identical to it appear a short distance to the left of the first one. There was no difference in their sizes. They looked exactly like the bright stars you see at night, but this was in the daytime sky. I was extremely excited trying to figure out what I was seeing. The fact that they were stationary and didn't move left no doubt that they weren't airplanes or ordinary flying objects. But when the second object started moving, I was sure that what I was seeing was far beyond human technology. The second object started moving to the right in a straight line, at first very slowly, then it completely disappeared, only to reappear less than a second later to the right of the first object, and remain stationary again. It was unbelievable. I couldn't process what I had seen, but it kept getting stranger. Moments later, a third bright object appeared above the first two. The first object remained in its original position, but the third one moved like the second one. It moved to the right, disappeared, and then reappeared. After this happened, my excitement and joy started turning into fear because I noticed more objects appearing one by one. What was amazing was how they appeared. They didn't come from anywhere. They didn't follow any path. They literally just appeared out of nowhere. During this time, one more thing happened. The second object returned to its original position, moving back from the right while disappearing briefly in the middle of its path. Now there were 12 bright, stationary objects in front of my eyes. My heart was pounding with fear because I didn't know what they were or what would happen next. From childhood, I had heard stories about UFO sightings, but none of them mentioned this many objects. After the 12th object appeared, it took less than a minute for them to disappear one by one in the same way they had appeared, this time for good. It has been 25 years since that day, and I still have no explanation for it. As far as I know, no human technology now or in the near future can move and appear or disappear like that. For me, this is no longer a hypothesis, but a firm and logical belief that we are not alone in this universe.